Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj. Alright, so Marj is from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this bad boy up for about $58 at places like Fragrance Buy. Link will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have some coupon codes that save yourself $5 or 5% off various discounters if you decide you want to shop with them. So presentation on this, a pretty straightforward cardboard box to get you started on this one, but overall pretty boring, and it does reveal a little bit more of a fancier presentation. So we have this nice kind of cardboard, little metalish style of tubing that has a really nice soft velvety sort of covering going onto it, and it does slide off like so, revealing our fragrance bottle on the inside. Very unique presentation for this fragrance bottle. Very kind of slender, sleek white bottle with this, again, a very interesting cap going on to it. So, don't know what to think about that quite, but it's definitely a conversation piece for sure. Atomizer on this, pretty good. Pressurized atomizer, nice long sprays, good distribution, absolutely get the job done. So bonus points for a pressurized atomizer, but presentation on this overall, it's a little unique. So if you're wondering what Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. There is a laundry list worth of notes here, so please bear with me as I read them out. Some of the notes listed in this are bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin, nutmeg, elemi, oud, honey, patchouli, roses, saffron, jasmine, vetiver, cinnamon, cashmere wood, orange blossom, pear, ambrette, golden amber, sweet musk, ambergris, raspberry, saffron, leather, sandalwood, oak moss, agarwood, and violet. So let me catch my breath for a second. Let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get kind of a nice freshness comes through. You get that bergamot, so it's got a bit of a tart citrus that comes through, some nice fruits that come through, almost kind of like a rosy pear that's working its way in, as well as some of those florals. So you get that jasmine, a little bit of orange blossom coming through. I'm not gonna go crazy on the spray, and I'll tell you why later. So yeah, it has a really nice freshness that goes on to it. It has a little bit of spice that's working in, but it is sitting in the background, but quickly the oud in this moves through, and you get a really nice, sweet, almost honeyed oud that comes through with this one. So it doesn't have that skankiness that some ouds have. It doesn't have like a woodiness to it. It's very much kind of a sweet, almost resinous style of oud with that kind of honey accord mixing in with it. You still get those fruity accords, so that rosy pears there. You get some of those spices that are there, that cinnamon, little green touches as well. So there's got this kind of this fruity green aspect to it, and it just blends in with that sweet oud really, really nice. But as this develops, it gets towards the mid and the dry down, it really takes on kind of a heavier, darker, richer style of oud, of kind of a very luxurious, elegant style of oud that maintains some of that sweetness. So more of those spices do come through. You still get like little pops of that raspberry, but you really start to get some more of that saffron, this leatheriness that starts to come through. So as you get towards the base, this nice ambery musk, this really sweet oud that comes through, and just kind of wrapped in this really fine, almost kind of luxurious style of leather starts to form. Very unique, very complex style of fragrance. It has a balance between those fruity accords, some of those florals that are working in, as well as that sweet honeyed oud with some spices, that ambery muskiness that comes through, and just some hints of some woods for this all to sit on. So very unique. It doesn't smell like anything else in my collection. I'm not sure if it's necessarily trying to dupe or clone anything. Just an overall really intriguing scent accord, if you will. And as you get towards the late dry down on this, it's really about that kind of that oudy leather, but it still has that kind of kiss of that raspberry, some of the fruitiness that's there, that ambery musk that sits there as well. And you get little hints of that wood and those green touches still coming through. And overall, it's just a very, like I said, sophisticated, has this elegance to it, almost kind of a regal appeal to it. And if you're into oud style of fragrances, you're definitely gonna enjoy this one. So when it comes to the performance of Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj, this is an absolutely nuclear fragrance, and like I mentioned when I was describing the scent accord, I was trying not to go crazy on the atomizer. Just that one spray to show you guys the atomizer, as well as that kind of half spray to just to kind of get the scent accord going as I was speaking to it, has already filled up this room, and this room is going to smell like this fragrance probably for the next 2 days. This is an absolute beast mode certified, insane projection, insane longevity on this. So longevity off skin is well beyond 12 plus hours. Like I usually shower before this is even run the course, and even after I shower I can still get hints of it. So Absolute monster performer. Your clothing, it's gonna smell like that through a couple of washes. It has with mine. I've had shirts that have smelled like this for at least 1 or 2 wash cycles, and projection on this is monstrous for the first 3-4 hours. This just absolutely radiates, fills the room, just a nuclear performer overall. So legit, you have to be careful with this one. Like 2 sprays is gonna be more than enough. People are gonna smell you for sure, and it's gonna last you the entire day, no problem. You go any more than 2 sprays, you go into like the 3-4 neighborhoods, like you're gonna have people across the streets that are gonna be able to smell you like hours afterwards. And if you're an insane person, you go like 8 to 10 sprays on this one, people in Manitoba are gonna smell you. It's a very strong fragrance, potentially one of the strongest fragrances I have in my collection right now. So if you're looking for a beast mode performer, Marj is gonna definitely get you there. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj would be most appropriate. I think this is a great fall winter style of fragrance, just the sweetness that comes through, but that dark, rich style of oud that comes through with it, with those spices, the little touches of the greens and some woods that are in there, as well as that kind of ambery muskiness, just really lends itself to the cooler weather, the fall, the winter time for sure. You could get away with this in the spring and just kind of more on a milder day in the springtime. I think you could definitely pull this one off. I would advise against wearing this in the high heat. Aside from the performance of this, I just think the scent profile with the sweetness that comes through, that honeyed oud, some of those spices, the woods, the ambery muskiness of this, I think it's just too much in the high heat. So you got to kind of wear this in more of the kind of the mild to the cold temperatures. That's where I think this one would do best for sure. In terms of occasions, I think this could be a casual wear fragrance, but it has that elegance, that sophistication I had mentioned earlier. Really lends itself to kind of more of the formal events as well. So you could really fancy this up and dress this one up. The scent profile on this is not going to be for everybody. So some people are going to really like this. Other people are just going to be completely turned off from it. So in terms of date nights, you might want to kind of test out your date a little bit before you like get a full wearing of this one, because not going to be for everybody. It is a very unique, complex scent profile. So I would be cautious about wearing this on a date night unless you can kind of in advance ask your date what they think of this fragrance. But overall, I think casual wear, formal wear is where it's appropriate, and you might get away with it on a date night. So my overall thoughts on Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj. This is a very, I've said it a couple times already, a very unique, very complex, very interesting scent profile on this. For me personally, this is not my jam. This is not something I'm going to be reaching for very often or ever, to be quite honest. And that's not because it's a bad scent profile or a bad fragrance. I think the way the oud comes through in this is very nice. I think the mix of the spices, the mix of the woods, the ambery musk that comes in here that is with that honeyed oud really works well together. The quality on this is a great fragrance. It's just for a personal taste and personal preference, this is just not my kind of personality or my persona when I have a fragrance. So it's not for me, and it's potentially not going to be for everybody out there as well. But I have had several people smell this, and it's been a mixed reaction. Everything from just like, oh my God, that's the best smelling fragrance I've ever smelt, to, oh my God, that's a big no for me. So a little bit of a divisive fragrance. But again, if you're into oud style of fragrances that has a nice mix of some sweetness, some spices, some earthy tones, nice ambery musk in it, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. And if you're not a fan of that, you are definitely not going to like this one. So that's my overall thoughts on the scent profile, but bang for your buck in terms of performance. This bottle is gonna last you a long time. It is a 60 ml, but that's gonna last you an eternity because you only need, like I said, like 2 sprays, 3 if you're getting a little bit crazy, and beyond that, you're gonna be obnoxious in my opinion. So bang for your buck. I think this is a great fragrance when it comes to the performance. So I'll let you guys decide what you think of this one. Like I said, it's not gonna be for everybody, but the performance on this is absolutely through the roof and might be worth checking out. That's Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj. And I want to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite, just absolute beast mode, nuclear style of fragrances? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.